there, welcome to another painting tutorial. In this video we're going to paint this swan, so let's get started. And let's start with the size 0 spotter brush. And I want to start by adding in the black values. So let's add a little bit of black to the eye. And if you want to paint along with me, you can just get this sketch linked in the description below. So I'm kind of going around the eye, and we can do a black value here at the tip of the beak. Then we can go around this area. And then up around the eye, all of this area is black. And then you can go around the bottom of the beak with a very thin line. This has a little bit of texture to it, so you can kind of make smaller little brush strokes. Okay, so now let's take a little bit of burnt umber. I want to mix up a dark value. So I'm going to mix it with a little bit of black that's already on the brush and a little bit on the palette. Then I'm going to add some gray. And let's try to put that in as a dark value over here. Just looking at where the darkest shadows are. And then you can put some over here. I'm kind of using feathering strokes as well to kind of mimic the feathers. Let's go in here. And then on this side, just trying to add a nice base for dark shadow colors. Put a little bit over here. And then on this, we'll kind of go around this curve. Okay, and then let's go around some of these feathers up here. Just gonna go around the lines that we made on the sketch. Okay, and then I'm going to take some of that color we mixed up and put some around the head of the swan. This is how we start building form and three-dimensional shape. Go around this area. And then under the neck, there's quite a bit of a dark shadow there. Maybe add a little bit of burnt umber just to make it a bit of a warmer shadow. Again, I can feather out. And then let's put a little bit of a gray shadow underneath this part of the wing. Okay, so now let's try to put in a little bit of a background. So I'm going to take a size 5 flat brush, and I have this gray paint here that is gray mixed up with some flow medium. And let's see if we can put that around. I kind of tried to tape this off so that I could put in a background. And I wanted to try a background today because the swan is white. And so if I don't have any kind of a background, it might not show up very well. And that tape really helps us get kind of a cleaner look and a little bit of a cleaner finish. So now that the background is complete, let's add some mid-tone values. And let's use, I have a size 6 round brush. And let's mix up a little bit of a beige with some of this yellow ochre and a little bit of titanium white. And then let's see if we can put that in as a warm shadow color, mid-tone. And we're kind of feathering it out. Let's go around the face and then under the chin. Okay. Put a little bit to this side. And then we'll put some of it reflecting here on the bottom. And then we can go over here and add some of this color, because you don't want to put a bright, bold color like this just in one area. Kind of want your colors to be spread throughout the painting, because those colors are going to attract the eye. That'll help move the eye throughout the painting. Okay, so let's rinse that off. And then let's use some of this. We'll do titanium white, a little bit of this sky blue, and then some gray paint. And let's put that in. So it's going to be another mid-tone. I want a little bit more blue. Let's go up here. This is a nice cool mid-tone. Put it around the eye. Okay, let's come down here along this area. And this round brush is pretty good for getting these kind of feathery strokes. Okay, put some over here. And we'll go back this side. So I'm trying to think about building form as well, with their different values. So I'm trying to think about what areas need to be lighter and which areas need to be darker. Okay, so then at this point, I feel like I need a little bit of a wash. So I'm gonna take, let's take that 5 flat brush, and I'm gonna take some medium here. So this is a pouring medium for acrylic paint. And let's see, we can maybe mix a beige color and see if we can use that as a bit of a glaze. Just want to cover up the white of the paper, because we're going to go over it with some white paint. It's going to help me cover up some of that white. Just act as a good wash or base color. It's a nice neutral tone as well. Okay, so now let's go back to the beak. I'm going to take that 0 spotter and let's put, I have some of this burnt umber. Let's put that on this side to create shadow. And then I'm going to add this color here, which is like a terracotta. It's a muted orange. can put that in. I grab a little bit of medium just to help that paint flow a little bit more easily. You can really see the difference. Okay, and while that is still a little bit wet, let's add a yellow in there. So I'm trying to do a wet on wet technique here and allow those colors to kind of blend together right onto that page. I'll actually feather a little bit of yellow down here. Okay, so let's add a little bit of a blue. Take this light blue and add a little bit to the beak. And then do that down here. And then put a little bit of a blue down the center. It's just acting as a cool highlight. And then let's put some white in there. Just this straight titanium white. And add the highlight right here. And then we'll go around that blue with this white to make a further highlight. And we can pop a little bit right there. And then let's pop some into the eye. And I'm going to take a dark color. Let's take this burnt umber with the 0 spotter and carefully go around that eye. Just to give it a little bit more definition. Kind of blend it a little bit. Okay, I'm going to pick up a little bit of that paint. Okay, and then we can go back later and kind of add a little bit more detail to that. So now let's go in with our white paint. I'm going to take that 6 round brush and let's work with our white paint. So let's see, I'm going to take straight titanium white and then I'm really trying to put in some detail here for the feathers. So be loose, but also try to be intentional with your brush strokes. We can come down here and kind of make these round shapes, and then around the neck area we can make these tiny little strokes for the feathers. And I'm covering up a lot of that underpainting. And those other colors are kind of shining through as well. Okay, so I'm trying to think about this sketch and how there's kind of different layers of feathers here. And kind of vary your brush strokes. Okay. All right, so let's switch to the 0 spotter and take that titanium white and let's go around the face. So we want to add some white for some highlights. So add the white in the places that you want to come forward in space. And any highlights. I'm also kind of feathering and covering up some of this underpainting Just trying to make tiny little strokes. And then I want to emphasize the highlight right there, right here. Okay. So I'm going to take a little bit of black and kind of clean up some of this around the beak. Okay, so I would let that dry a little bit and then do some glazing. So let's have a size 6 filbert. Let's take some of this pouring medium and a little bit of this light blue, kind of sky blue color. And let's see if we can go back with this color on top of the white and some of the areas to help kind of bring back some of the shadows. And you can kind of squint your eyes so you can kind of tell where those shadows are, because they can be kind of tricky and hard to see. Okay. And then I actually went a little bit darker. Let's take some of this gray and see if that'll give us a little bit of a darker glaze. So you can bring out some of these shadows. You could see we kind of lost some of them when we put the white on top. Okay. All right, so I think that looks good. Let's take the 0 spotter and take that titanium white. I want to reinstate that little white highlight on the eye very carefully. Okay. Maybe right here too. And then I'm going to take this white and go above the eye very carefully, very thin line, and underneath it as well. So kind of help shape the eye and give a little bit more realism to it as well. Okay, so let's call that complete. Let's try to take off the paint or the tape. And a trick with the tape is you can kind of run it along your clothes or stick it on your clothes, and that'll help make it a little less tacky, and then it can come off a little bit easier. And the paper that I use is not the highest grade, so it can kind of rip as well if you're using some inexpensive paper. And just try to pull it away. Okay, and if you had any kind of mistakes like down here, you could just take some white paint and try to cover it up and clean it up. It might take a couple or a few layers to do that. Okay. All right, but we'll call this painting complete. I hope you get to give this tutorial a try. Please like and subscribe for more videos, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.